Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to ATX Good News. We're live here on Facebook. I'm Judy Maggio.
And I'm Leslie Rohde. I am so glad you are taking some time here on this Friday lunch hour, perhaps, for you to join us for this next edition of ATX Good News. We're at number 4 now, I think. Judy, is that correct?
This is
number
our
4.
fourth one, and you guys have had such a wonderful response, and we're getting so much enjoyment out of this, and we hope that it's bringing a little joy into your life too.
Yeah, if you've not joined us before, or if this is your first time to watch, we are ATX Good News, just the two of us, right? Just the two of us.
We're the whole kit and caboodle. We're the sound people, we're the photographers, we're the hosts, we're doing it all, and we sure are having a good time though.
We sure are, and I think this is a creative outlet in a lot of ways, but it's also a means of giving back, because we want to shine the light on good things happening in our community, good people, good organizations, good movements, and that's what we're doing here at ATX Good News. You know, Judy and I spent a lot of years in television news, and that was a lot of fun, and now we get to do kind of what we've done before as journalists, but we're focusing on the positive type stories that really kind of make the whole story complete, Judy, because, you know, we're not forgetting real journalism.
No, absolutely not. And we want everybody to know this is not a place to get your news of the day.
Yeah.
It's so important to stay informed on what's happening in our world. This is kind of an addition to that. It's a place to come to find stories that perhaps will make you smile, feel uplifted, and remember that there's a lot of human kindness out there. We just sometimes forget about it.
Yeah, we need it. And I think sometimes we don't see it. We can be so busy in our days that we just don't stop and recognize those really good stories happening around us. And that can be very small things too. We want to know about some of the good things happening in your life. So we'd love for you to join in on our conversation now. To do that, though, for us to see your comments here on the live stream, we need you to do one easy thing. And that is go to the bottom of your screen there, that StreamYard.com/Facebook link. All you have to do is click a couple of buttons, they give them to you, and that will enable us to see your comments, to see who you are, and be able to converse with you some here. So
yeah, Leslie, we already have a comment.
Tell us what you're doing today. What's the comment, Judy?
Well, it's from the wonderful singer-songwriter and spreader of good news all the time, Sarah Hickman. She's just a treasure in our community. She said, "Hooray, thanks for creating the show. Thanks for watching, Sarah. We'll have to have her come sing for us."
I was going to say, we need Sarah to create a good news song for us. That would be so much fun, and have her, sing for us. Sarah, thank you so much for watching and taking part today. And the rest of you, what are you doing today? What's good news happening in your life? Judy, what about you?
Well, good news today is I actually had a little time to do my daily yoga. I do yoga with Adrienne. It brings me a lot of joy. Adrienne, for those of you who don't know, is a local yoga teacher, but she's seen on YouTube all over the world by millions of people. And I think she's kept us fit and focused and happy during the pandemic more than she realizes. So thank you, Adrienne, for helping me stay happy during the pandemic.
Oh, yes, that's for sure. We've all needed those things. You know, I was just sitting here taking my sip of coffee and realizing this is my good news this morning, Judy. Sometimes something as simple as a really good cup of coffee can be good news if you stop and really relish it. Look at my cup. This is my cup my sister gave me. You're the sister I got to choose.
And you are the sister I got to choose.
And that's my new, hold on. There's my new sister. She gave me this cup.
I sure did. Well,
you know, it's really nice.
We're going to be talking about art forms and how they spark goodness and happiness in our community. So it's ironic that, and very appropriate that Sarah Hickman said, "Yes, I'd love to write your theme song," because she has brought so much happiness to people through her music. We're going to be talking about poetry and painting with pandas, and a new partnership. I love alliteration. So those are the three things we're going to be focusing on today. And I want to start with painting with pandas. This is a great group. Painting Pandas is a group that was started by a wonderful woman in the Austin area called Jill Turner. Now, Jill just has a love of art, and she believed that all children should have access to quality art supplies. And you can look at the smile on that little girl's face. It's part of painting pandas. So she took action back in 2020 when COVID was cutting back on art education to Austin students, especially the students in low-income areas. Jill found a way to bring free art classes to them. She started a nonprofit, Painting Pandas. It served hundreds of students already. They have more than 100 kids enrolled for the winter session. What Jill does is she ships those first class art supplies you see there in the corner to the students, and then she has an art educator teach online, and it's Jessica Foster, who's an amazing teacher. I actually did a story on Jessica when she was at Barbara Jordan Elementary. Two people just spreading joy, teaching kids art, and really giving them ways to explore new ideas and new concepts. And it just really warms my heart. And we want to say a big thank you to Good News team member Carla Smith for telling us about Painting Pandas.
So unique, creative, to say the least. It's beautiful to see. And the little girl's work of art was amazing for her age.
Oh, and they work with all types of textures. They do, clay, they do painting, they do drawing. So it's really giving them a wide base of art education, but also they have themes on all their classes. They learn about different parts of the world, or how to make something new, or discover a new invention. So it really is teaching kids in some beautiful ways. And they do this after school via Zoom to kids kindergarten through 6th grade.
And we've heard so much during the pandemic about the mental health concerns for our young ones, our children and teens, really for all of us for that matter. But it's so good to see them using art as a means of a way of continuing to keep those creative juices flowing. And like you said, and just development in so many ways. We wanted to remind you, if you want to make a comment and interact with us during the show, you need to do one thing, and that is go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and click on a couple of clicks there. And then that way we can see your comments here, because we're not always able to do 2 things at once or 3 things at once and see the Facebook page. I'm trying to follow the Facebook page here on my phone, but anyway, we need you to do that. Easy. Yeah, it's not always easy. I think we're live.
We can't walk and chew gum at the same time. We're live, and we appreciate y'all sticking with us and weighing in. We want you to comment, and we want you to tell you about a partnership that we have that we think is going to help us share good news and collaborate and just keep shining the light on some of the people in our community who are often, unsung heroes.
Yes, and we're talking about our Good News Neighbor of the Week. Please, won't you be my neighbor? Can't believe I just did that with Sarah Hickman watching.
You have a beautiful voice. And gosh, these are people, as we said, who are spreading goodness, doing wonderful things. And we thought to call them a neighbor was appropriate, because Mr. Rogers always said, in times of crisis, look for the helpers.
Yes. Well, our helper, our Good News neighbor this week is Joel Coffman from RecognizeGood. He is the executive director there. That organization has been around for more than 10 years. They do just that. They recognize good and help other people notice it. It's very similar to what we're doing. Our missions are pretty much aligned in many ways. And I'll let Joel tell you a little bit more about RecognizeGood and what he does, and answer some more of our good news questions this week. Judy?
Hey, Leslie. Hey, Judy. This is Joel Coffman, Executive Director at RecognizeGood. Thank you for making me your Good News Neighbor of the Week. RecognizeGood's mission is to illuminate the good that we find in the community. We find people and organizations that go above and beyond for others, and we share their story and hope to inspire others to do more good like them. 3 questions. What is your favorite part about your job? It's the individual people that I never would have crossed paths with otherwise, that we get to simply go and say thank you to. There's little pockets of goodness all over Central Texas, and most of them go unknown. So what is your happy place in Central Texas? By far, Gary Park. We spend more time probably at Gary Park up in Georgetown than any other environment outside of our home. It's my 5-year-old daughter's happy place, and so therefore it's my happy place. And then what's a good news story from your life? I got a praise report yesterday from a group that was allowing families that they've served to say thank you to their volunteers through a program that we have. And this was one of my friends who said that she was just moved to tears to see these families in need that have been getting free groceries from this organization since the pandemic hit. Their opportunity to say thanks back, she said, was just so enthusiastic and heartwarming that it moved her to tears. So that definitely made my day. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Judy. This is Joel.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know, I'm operating I want to say I'm rolling the videotape, but that dates me. But
That's okay.
I'm operating the digital video and I accidentally clicked it one too many times.
We thank Joel Coffman, our Good News Neighbor of the Week from Recognize Good. We are looking forward to more collaboration with Recognize Good in the coming weeks, months, and years. So we just really want to thank them for all they do for this community.
Yeah, they've been in this space for a long time, encouraging others to give back to the community and shining the light on folks doing that. And let's face it, people are inspired to volunteer or start something new in their life that makes the community a better place when they see others doing it. So thank you, Recognize Good. We're looking forward, as Leslie said, to working with you guys.
I got to show some comments, Judy, real quick. We are getting some comments and it's working. We want to thank Carolyn for writing in. Yes, we're live. It's working. So we know it's working.
If Carolyn says it's working, we know it is. She's the producer at KLRU, my former producer at ATX Together. So thank you, Carolyn.
And Carla, that you mentioned, Painting Pandas is honored and grateful. Judy, thank you for that. So thank you, Carla, for writing in that. And this is a good transition, or shall we say segue in news.
Yes.
Michael Blair is watching.
Yes, Michael, thank you so much for what you do every day. So we're going to shift and talk about Michael's poetry. And Michael said, what a wonderful escape from the daily news.
Yeah.
And Michael provides a great escape too. So let me tell you a little bit about Michael. He's a retired creative director at GSD&M Advertising. And when he retired, he realized, I want to keep creating. I want to keep writing. So he found that creative outlet in poetry. And at the beginning of the pandemic, he decided to write a poem every single day and put it on his Facebook page. And now so many of us look forward to reading those poems. Michael calls this a delightful obsession and a way to help others start the day with a smile. And guess what? Michael's going to putting together a poetry book of this collection of poems, and he's going to sell those, and the profits will all go to two of his favorite nonprofits, IACT, Interfaith Action, and also Mobile Loaves and Fishes, two great nonprofits in our area. And I thought, since it's Friday, we will read Michael's poem for today that he sent out to all of his followers on Facebook. Angels give me words each night, arranging them in rhyme in preparation for the coming day. These words are all uplifting, sent to sanitize these times and lift the darkness that gets in the way. It isn't Frost or Angelou, these poems that come to me. It isn't Homer, Longfellow, or Pound, just simple rhymes to lift the times and encourage me to see the things that keep my 2 feet on the ground. So here's the one that came last night. It's sent with light and love. It's found me as I thought about these times. And so I find a little joy to counteract the noise by waiting for these blessed little rhymes.
Wow.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
How does he do that every night? I love that he said that angels give him the words every night.
Yeah.
How inspirational.
He does meditate. He said that they meditate every day for a lengthy amount of time, for about an hour. And he said often the poems come to him during meditation, during that quiet time when you're just thinking about trying to breathe and connect with who you are as a human. So thank you, Michael, for sharing your creative poems each day with all of us. It is a great way to spread good news. And as you say, put a smile on people's faces to start the day.
For sure. I think throughout the whole pandemic, creativity has really played a big role in healing us and keeping us a little bit healthy. Don't you think, Judy? And this is a good example of that.
Yes, and I'm so glad that our musicians like Sarah and poets like Michael have found a way to deliver that art through virtual ways, you know, as Painting Pandas has done for these children, of giving them a creative outlet that you can teach a class via Zoom. These are ways that we've learned to adapt to this pandemic, but also stay engaged and focus and spread creativity and joy, which we all need now more than ever. Oh, Sarah wrote, it's because Michael is an angel himself.
Yeah. Yes, Michael's getting a lot of praise. There's another. May says, love you, Mike. So thank you, Michael, for all you're doing for the community. And sometimes you think it's a small thing, one post a day on Facebook that comes from this beautiful place, but look how many lives it's touching and helping. So that's just fantastic. You know, we're so appreciative for all these story ideas and good news spotters out there. So we want you to keep on sending us your story ideas. Please, please, please. We have a Gmail address we want to show you there. And that is atxgoodnews@gmail.com, atxgoodnews@gmail.com. Please, you can send us anything, even if you think the idea is small. You never know. You never know. So send it our way.
Yes, those small gestures of kindness can have the biggest impact, right? So when you see goodness happening, or you want to shine the light on an unsung hero, just send us an email, send us a direct message on our Facebook page. Most of you know us personally. Just give us a call and say, hey, I've got an idea for ATX Good News. We're going to be here every Friday at noon, sometimes live out in the field when the weather's a little better and we have all of our equipment together. We've done one, and we hope to get out in the community more. We're just proud of ourselves for being able to do a live stream. We're not the technical geniuses that some people are.
Talk about creativity and teaching an old dog new tricks, right? Okay, we're getting there, but also not just story ideas. We should say, Judy, you mentioned the live shots that we're doing out in the field. If you have an idea for a place that we could go live to show people, or if you have an idea, you want to nominate someone for our Good News Neighbor of the Week.
Yes.
Please send that our way too, because we're looking forward to that in the coming weeks, every week, because we have so many people doing good things here in the Austin community. We want to shine lights on them for sure. All right, Judy, I think we've almost come to the end of our broadcast.
I think so. And we want to thank all of you for sharing a little bit of your lunch hour with us, for engaging with us, commenting with us, sending us your story ideas. We're going to continue to do this every week. It is a joy for Leslie and me. And we so appreciate all of you allowing us to have this outlet to spread good news in Austin, Texas.
So send us your ideas, and don't forget to see good news, stop and notice it. Bye, Al. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye. Happy weekend.